Okay. Krebs cycle, yeah, the same thing is work, yes. Krebs cycle. The electron transport chain, okay. Then I have to tell you electron transport chain, fine. We'll finish it quickly, no issue. You know. Now, let me start with you with a better outlook of the chapter. And I have that respiration part. Respiration. Hmm. There. Yeah, it's there in detail.
Wow.
Okay, right. So first, and I want you to note it down all those things and take the screenshot, which will be visible to you in the screen, right?
Sir, can I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
If NADPH is equal to 3 molecules of ATP, then why is ATP the main source of energy?
Why the ATP is the means of energy?
Yeah.
Look, actually, during the metabolic reaction, only we get the energy from the ATP because it is very easy, lucid, and convenient to take energy from ATP. Why? Look, let me tell you the structure of ATP. Actually, that is all hidden in the structure of ATP. The structure of ATP is like this one. Whenever we represent the structure of ATP, let me draw it. This one. This is adenosine sugar, right?
Yeah.
And it have 3 phosphate, 1, 2, and 3. 3 phosphate. 3 phosphate. Between these phosphate, there is a bond, and we represent bond like this way, not with a straight line. You must have seen this one, this bond. What does it mean by this structure? It means they are weak bond, easily breakable. Easily breakable. So what happened? Whenever we require energy, these bond break down easily. And when these bond break down easily, then what happened? ATP, adenosine triphosphate, because there are 3 phosphate, right? This is adenosine nitrogen base, and this is phosphate, 3 phosphate. So we call what called? We call it adenosine triphosphate, ATP. When we require energy, it gets breakdown. When it will break down, what will happen? The adenosine, that is a nitrogen base, it will remain same. Only 2 phosphate will be remain. One bond will be broken down, and due to breakdown of the bond, we know that the energy get released, right? So what will happen? You will get 1 phosphate. We call it Pi. Pi means inorganic phosphate. When this is not organic phosphate, this is inorganic phosphate, and plus energy.
Plus
if
energy
you
part
require
is very
further
important.
energy, yeah. If you require further energy, that I am going to tell you, it is not in your syllabus, but I am going to tell you. If you require, suppose that all ATP exhausted, still your body need energy. What will happen? This ATP, ADP. Now this is adenosine diphosphate, because now there are 2 phosphate only. ADP will again break down. What? It will break down again. 1 more phosphate will break down. Single phosphate will remain. And what will happen? Again, inorganic phosphate will be released. Again, energy will be released. Now, what is this? This is AMP, adenosine monophosphate. Yeah. Monophosphate. Right? adenosine monophosphate, and now you cannot get the energy from AMP, right? So that ADP, it is very easy to get energy from ATP. That's why our body uses ATP. Got it?
Yes.
Note it down this one somewhere else. It belongs to this chapter only. And in this chapter, I'll tell you that why one NADPH is equal to 3 ATP. Why one NADP, why one FAD is equal to FADH is equal to 2 ATP. That I also explain over here. That's why I have opened this slide.
Okay.
So fortunately, we have already this slide because I have already taught this. So it saves lots of time and lots of effort, and it is rich in the information as well. Noted?
Just the last part.
Yeah, sure.
Done, sir.
Done.
Yes.
Then okay. Now come to the respiration, right? Respiration part. Now tell me, what are the respiratory substrate?
Oh, I don't know. What is a substrate?
It's what is the respiratory substrate?
I don't know.
Okay. So listen, Affaf, very carefully.
Okay.
Whatever the substance can be fuel for our body, whatever the substance that is fuel for our body, that is called respiratory substance. Means whatever the thing which can burn in our body, right? Right? So mitochondria is a type of stove we have in our body, right?
Yes.
You have a gas stove in your house. Now, what can we substitute? You can use the LPG, liquid petroleum gas. That stove will burn. You can burn the CNG, compressed natural gas. That stove will burn. If you will burn the methane, that stove will burn, right? So what is the stove? That is the mitochondria. What is the substrate? It can be LNG, it can be CNG, it can be LPG, it can be methane. So you can say, for my stove, there are 4 substrates which can burn: LPG, LNG, CNG, and methane. In the same way, inside our cell, there is a stove, and the name of that stove is mitochondria.
Okay.
Now, what is the respiratory substrate? Means those substances which can be burned. So carbohydrate means sugar is the best respiratory substrate. Like in your stove, this is LPG is the best substrate, right? Am I clear?
Yes. So, sir, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
People that remove carbohydrates from their diet just to
Just to
do they get affected by this? Like, does this get affected by that?
Sorry, please repeat again because your voice
Okay,
was
I
breaking.
know that was confusing.
No, 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 no. Actually,
What
your
I'm,
voice was breaking.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that there are people that remove carbohydrates in order to lose weight. Does this
Right.
respiratory part get affected by
Not at
that?
all. Not at all. Why,
No?
Affaf? Because they do not reduce the carbohydrate, because they reduce the extra carbohydrate. Look,
Okay.
listen, how does it work? Why? Because carbohydrate, sugar, how the sugar can make a person fat? Because fat is made up of fatty acids, right?
Yeah.
How the sugar can make, even I was, when I was at your age, I used to think that how the sugar can make a person fat, because this is something which is not a fatty substance. How it makes it? So what happens, suppose that Afaf, uh, today, one fine morning, what I did, I was in the breakfast table, and I found the breakfast is very tempting, and it is completely made up of the carbohydrate. So my body require only 100 gram of the carbohydrate for the function of whole day. Means my liver, my heart, every damn kind of the damn kind of the organ which require energy. 100 gram of the sugar inside my body is sufficient to produce energy, right? But
Okay.
breakfast was very interesting, very tempting. What I did, I just eating, and I eaten till the my like it was like when the breakfast came till this point, right? So then I stopped, right? But the breakfast I eaten, the amount of the carbohydrate which goes inside body, that was the gone inside body, that was the 300 gram. How much require for the whole day? 100 gram. So what will happen with the extra 200 gram? You know that extra 200 gram glucose will be converted into glycogen. Where? Inside my liver.
And that's how
So,
you gain weight.
yeah, got it or not? Got it?
Yeah.
So that
Yes.
extra 200 gram will be stored in liver in form of glycogen. But glycogen is also carbohydrate, it's not a fat. That 200 gram is stored in my liver. Now what will happen with that? Suppose that tomorrow morning or at the dinner I did not got anything to eat for the dinner. Then what will happen? My body will demand that, yes, buddy, you have given me for the whole day. What will happen for the night? My body will ask to me. I'll answer to my body, I do not have any arrangement of the food. Other than breakfast, I did not got anything today. So I'll say sorry to my body. Now my body will say that I have demand, I have to run the body. I have to run the organs. I require the sugar. I said strictly no, I cannot arrange for you. My body will go to liver and it will ask liver, yes, buddy, whatever I have given to you today morning, just give me back. Then that glycogen will again convert into sugar and I
Yeah.
will get the energy. That's how it happened. But generally, what happened? I have taken a large amount of the breakfast, and after that large amount of the breakfast, that 200 grams is still stored in my liver, and I have taken the dinner as well. When I will take the dinner. That 200 gram is not required back. What will happen, liver? Liver will say, I cannot store your luggage for the long time. I will convert it something else. Sorry, sorry. Give me just a minute. I just
Okay.
until the time. Hold on with my story. What I had told you. So what will happen with that? This uh, this extra 200 gram, when I again taken the dinner, the fresh glucose will will be supplied to body. Now what liver will do, liver will convert this into fat, and now that fat will be transported from my liver to where? Adipose tissue. Where are adipose tissues? In my tummy part, in my thigh, in my chest, in my cheeks, in my neck, and all that, and I will become fat. Now got it?
Yes.
So what we need to reduce? Extra glucose. No, we need not to reduce the glucose. We need to reduce extra glucose. And what people do in diet, they reduce the extra glucose. What is it?
Yeah. So like people remove fats, healthy fats from their diet
People
to
remove
lose
fat.
weight.
Sorry.
Yeah, fats, good fats from their
Yeah,
diet in order to lose weight. Does
yeah,
that
yeah. In order to
negative?
lose, you require good fat. Good fat is actually HDL, high density lipid, that do not get deposit in our adipose tissue. Actually, got it?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what is the respiratory substrate? Anything which can burn in our body as a fuel is called respiratory substrate. So basically, the carbohydrate they can burn in our body as a, they are the best fuel for our body. That is best petrol for our body. Then fat is the second number, because we require lots of like you can understand that petrol is the better fuel and diesel is not that much better fuel. Why? Because it produces lots of the pollution. It requires lots of the energy to get burned and all that. Then protein, it do not burn. Why? Because our body is made up of protein. If protein will start burning, then what will happen? Body will start eating its own cells. Got it? But yes, protein sometimes get burned. The fourth substrate is organic acid. These are the four things which can burn inside our mitochondria. Carbohydrate do not directly burn. Carbohydrate breaks down into glucose. Then glucose break down into what? Pyruvate. Then pyruvate into acetyl coenzyme. Then it burn, convert. Then it produces energy. Right? Remember the sequence? Carbohydrate will break down into monomer, that is simple substance glucose. Glucose will break down to pyruvate. Pyruvate will break down into acetyl coenzyme A. Then it, it will be used as sorry, respiratory substrate. Now, in the same way, in the same way, fat will break down into fatty acid. Then fatty acid will break down into acetyl coenzyme A. Then it will be used as energy. Again, protein will break down into amino acid into organic acid, and then it will be today I'll take Affaf actually just 1 hour class because
No problem, sir. I was actually gonna tell you to take only 1 hour class.
yeah. I don't want to miss your class because hardly you get the 2 classes, and I have to finish your syllabus within time limit. That's why I don't want to cancel it. I thought before the class start that I must stop it over here, but then suddenly I got in the brain that you have 2 classes only, and you have started late as well.
Yeah.
I want to. Okay. Fine. So then protein break down into amino acid, into organic acid, right? So then again, this one, organic acid. This organic acid directly, they are directly used as a respiratory substrate. Did you got this one or not? This
Yes.
matrix, right? Please note
But
it
can you
down.
tell me cytoplasmic respiration?
Cytoplasmic respiration is that part when body start eating their own cell. This is called autophagy.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a really very bad thing. What happens? Suppose that if a person goes for hunger strike, right? If a person is fat like me, that means healthy like me, I'm not fat. So if a person is healthy like me, so what will happen? First 2 months, what will happen? First first 2 or 3 days, complete carbohydrate of the body will be exhausted as a fuel, and body will not have any carbohydrate, right? Then the next number is of fat. Fat burning will start. Next 2 months will take place for the burning of the fat. Means if I do not eat anything, just I drink the water, I will be alive for 2 months. I will not die. I will be on the bed. I won't be able to talk, or I won't be able to just wake up. But I'll not die for next 2 months. What will happen after 2 months, when the complete fat of the body will get exhausted? My body will become just a skeleton kind of the thing. Then what will happen on that time? Now the next number is of protein. Then body will start eating or burning its own fat, right? Its own body. Now what will happen? Then the cytoplasm of the body, means mitochondria, will start burning cytoplasm, and the person will die. This is called cytoplasmic respiration. Got it?
Yes.
Please note it down, all these things, because you will not find this information anywhere in any book. This just I have made this sequence.
Okay. Done, sir.
Done. Okay. So did you got each and every point, Affaf?
Yes.
Understand here clearly, right? If you
Yes.
will understand clearly, it will become very easy for you. Now, what is the respiratory substrate? What is the ATP? You got all the point, right? Now come to the next thing. Type of respiration. What kind of the respiration takes place? So what is the respiration? Nothing. Just burning of the food in our body is called respiration. Burning of the food in any body is called respiration. What is the burner? That is the mitochondria. Mitochondria is not present in bacteria. Then what work in the bacteria as a mitochondria? Mesosomes. You remember?
Yeah.
Mesosomes. They also work like mitochondria, right? Now aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic one, sorry. aerobic respiration is more effective than anaerobic. Why? Because anaerobes are the backwarded kind of the organism. Aerobic ones are the most advanced one, right? Aerobic are the most advanced, and anaerobic are basically bacteria, and they do not have mitochondria. So the evolutionary, the anaerobes are backwarded, and aerobes are more efficient and more evolved. In aerobic respiration, just from the heading itself, you can understand burning of the food takes place in presence of oxygen. So what is the reaction? Whenever we study the whenever we study the respiration, we take care of we always take care of this one respiratory. We always take the respiratory substrate as a carbohydrate, because carbohydrate is a respiratory substrate generally, right? So we always take carbohydrate as a respiratory substrate. C6H12O6 plus 6O2. This is glucose. Glucose will burn. Production of the carbon dioxide, water, and 686 kilocalorie energy will be released. Got it, Affaf?
Yes.
So aerobic respiration generally take in regular way, in normal ways. Aerobic respiration takes place in plant as well as in animal. Anaerobic respiration takes place in bacteria, fungi, sometime in human muscles. When we run, we walk, we go for the gym, means we do extra exercise. Then on that condition, oxygen supply reduces and anaerobic respiration takes place in our body.
Anaerobic respiration is good for our body?
No, it's very bad for our body. It must not be there. So in absence of O2, it takes place in absence of O2. But there is a difference. When it takes place in the body of bacteria and body of fungus, what happens? Alcohol formation takes place. But alcohol formation do not take place in our body. If alcohol formation will take place in our body, what will happen? You will start running and you will behave like drunk one. Got it?
Okay.
Because alcohol formation will take place. Then police will arrest you if you'll run.
Okay.
Right? And you'll see a slogan that in public places running is prohibited, right? Exercise is prohibited, right?
Okay.
So there will
So
be
alcohol is produced by our body.
yes, if would have been there, but it does not take place normally, fortunately. Right?
Yeah.
Else you must have like the word would have been different, right? There must be some running bar and all that, right? Running cafe, running bar and all that, right? Not running track. Got it.
Yes.
So fortunately, formation of ethyl alcohol do not take place in during running process. So in absence of O2, when it takes place in bacteria, carbohydrate or glucose breaks down with the help of enzyme, break down into 2CO2, carbon dioxide, ethyl alcohol, and 59 kilocalorie energy. Now you can see the difference of energy, right? 636, 59 from one glucose molecule. Ethyl alcohol formation takes place. That's how we produce ethyl alcohol with the help of bacteria in brewery, where we make wine, beer, and all that. Now, when it comes to the body of human, carbohydrate break place with the help of enzyme, but not in ethyl alcohol, in lactic acid. And energy is released, 36 kilocalorie energy is released. This lactic acid get deposited between our muscles and it causes muscle cramp. Got it? When we take rest, this lactic acid again breaks down into pyruvate and fatigue is removed from our body.
What is pyruvate?
Pyruvate is the substrate. I told you glucose will break down into pyruvate.
Oh, yes.
Then pyruvate into acetyl coenzyme. Then got it.
But like, what is pyruvate?
Pyruvate is actually a type of sugar. It is two carbon compound. Sorry, three carbon compound. Glucose is a sugar with 6 carbon compound, right?
Yeah.
Pyruvate is a carbohydrate or sugar with 3 carbon compound. One glucose molecule break down into 2 pyruvate molecule. Got it?
Yes.
Now, why it happened? There is also a logic behind it. First, please note down this all information and ask me if you have confusion anywhere.
Okay. Sir, in this anaerobic respiration, ethyl alcohol, is it 2C2H5?
Which one?
Ethyl alcohol,
Yeah,
anaerobic
2
respiration.
molecule of ethyl alcohol.
Okay. This ethyl alcohol one only takes place in bacteria.
Sorry, again.
The ethyl alcohol respiration.
Ethyl alcohol respiration is
Yeah,
for,
this one, the first one in the anaerobic.
yeah, that is for bacteria, and that also takes place in the case of fungus.
Okay.
Yeah, that also takes place in case of fungus. So
Oh,
you must have seen that formation of liquor, formation of alcohol takes place with the help of either with the help of bacteria or with the help of yeast.
yeah.
That's how the formation takes place. And you know, how does the formation of whiskey takes place or rum takes place? We take the sugar, or carbohydrate rich grain, we inoculate the bacteria, fermentation takes place, they break down the sugar into alcohol and the rest of the substance, we collect that, we filter that and make the whiskey, beer and all those kind of the alcoholic beverages. Got it?
Yes.
But in human muscle it does not take place. uh, One more very interesting thing I want to tell you. There are certain kind of the people, they are basically found in the North America part. So those people, when they eat the food, what happened? Formation of alcohol takes place in their stomach.
Wow. Free alcohol.
Yeah, and they become like they uh, get into that drunk kind of the conditions. And American government do not make do not give driving license to these kind of people.
Sad.
Neither they are given driving license nor they can join the army. So this is a type of disease which is you can
Why
you
would they want someone drunk in the army?
because if they will definitely they have to take something to run their body, their life. When they will take the food, the alcohol formation will take place, they will become drunk, right? So that kind of situation. After the class, you can read out that disease. I forget the name of that disease. I encountered that disease when I was in master's classes. So did you note it down all these things? Got it?
Yes.
Aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Technically, what is
Yes.
that? Okay. One more thing. RQ, do not go there. RQ, let me tell you, just note it down. RQ as well. It is also very important. So RQ is equal to volume of carbon dioxide evolved after respiration, right? And volume of oxygen consumed during respiration. What the reaction is above respiration reaction? Carbohydrate.
Why do we measure this?
Because RQ decide which is the best fuel for our body,
Okay.
which is the best respiratory substance, which give the most energy, which is the best for our body. Look, RQ is for carbohydrate. This is one. This is the best one. It is balanced. That's why it is used. Organic acid have RQ more than one. They produces larger amount energy than carbohydrate. Fat RQ is 0.7, protein RQ is 0.9. Just note it down. RQ, and formula of RQ.
So why did you write the equation of well, this looks like photosynthesis.
Sorry,
This equation.
this equation.
Yeah.
Why this equation is?
I'm asking, is this a part of respiratory quotient?
Right. This equation, basically, this equation is a respiratory question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to remember these RQ values.
Right. You need to remember that. It is important. Actually, that is the question only in this whole PPT. The RQ value. Actually, why the fat is bad fuel? It produces more energy than carbohydrate, but still it is bad food. 1 gram fat produces more energy than carbohydrate, but still fat is not used for body. The reason behind it, it requires large amount of the oxygen. That's why RQ value is less than 1. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah. So it requires lots of oxygen. It misuses the oxygen, right?
Okay.
Diesel is more powerful fuel than petrol, but it is not preferred. Why? It requires lots of oxygen and it produces lots of pollution. That's why diesel is bad fuel. And the um, uh, burning speed or the burning reaction is very slow in case of diesel. So same way you can compare that this carbohydrate is petrol for our body and this fat is just diesel for our body. Note it down, Affaf.
Just 1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Now, what I am going to tell you next, Affaf, take this diagram. Remember this diagram. You will not find this concept anywhere. This is also I have designed to make you people understand. How does it take place? Why glucose is not directly burned? Look up. Glucose is 6 carbon compound, right? Glucose is 6 carbon compound. This glucose cannot enter inside our cell. What happened when we eat the bread, when we eat any some another kind of the bread or sugar and all that, they get digested. You must have studied digestive system part, studied,
Yes.
and you must have seen that this finally all complex sugars are broken down into glucose. Then glucose is absorbed by our body, blood, and glucose, with the help of the blood, glucose is distributed across the body, across the body. Now, what happened? This glucose cannot enter inside the cell membrane, plasma membrane. So, what happened? This glucose, this glucose goes inside our cells, right? But glucose do not directly enter into where? Enter into mitochondria. This red color structure is mitochondria, right? So, glucose from blood, glucose enter into here, enter into cytoplasm, but it cannot enter into where? Mitochondria. So
Mitochondria.
mitochondria, inner membrane of mitochondria is impermeable for glucose. So what happened in cytoplasm or protoplasm, whatever you want to say, in cytoplasm, a reaction goes on that is called glycolysis. In glycolysis reaction, glucose, which is 6 carbon compound, broken down into 2 molecule of pyruvate, and pyruvate is 3 carbon compound. 2 3 is 6. Got it?
Yes.
During the glycolysis, formation of ATP takes place. Means energy is also produced. So a 6 carbon compound is broken down into 3 carbon compound and energy is also produced. This reaction is called glycolysis. It is part of respiration, but it takes place in cytoplasm. Got it? Clear?
Yes.
Now one glucose molecule is broken down into 2 pyruvate molecule. Now this mitochondrial membrane, this is outer membrane, this is inner membrane. Mitochondrial inner membrane is not permeable for glucose, but yes, it is permeable for pyruvate. It will welcome to pyruvate. Pyruvate will come inside the mitochondria. Pyruvate entered inside the mitochondria in matrix. This gel is called matrix. But this 3 carbon compound cannot enter into Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle is that furnace where it have to burn and produce energy. Now this pyruvate will convert to enter to join the Krebs cycle, because pyruvate cannot join the Krebs cycle. Now this pyruvate will break down into a 2 carbon compound which is called acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl CoA. Acetyl coenzyme A. Now 3 carbon compound will break down to 2 carbon compound. Now this acetyl coenzyme will enter into Krebs cycle. Now this Krebs cycle will keep on going. This completely acetyl coenzyme A will be completely converted to carbohydrate and energy. That's how the production of energy takes place. During this Krebs cycle, ATP is produced, NADPH is produced, FADH is produced, and this is all the part of energy. So that's how the energy takes place, produced in this complete respiration cycle. This is actually respiration. Look into it and let me know if there is any confusion.
Okay, so pyruvate, they enter the Krebs cycle. And then ATP, NADPH, and FAD4 or DH, I don't know what that is.
Not pyruvate, 2-acetyl
Yeah, it turns into 2-acetyl
coenzyme.
Okay.
Coenzyme.
How does it turn into acetyl?
That I'll explain you. I'll explain completely elaborately next class glycolysis. I'll explain elaborately that how does it convert to acetyl coenzyme. Then I will elaborately explain Krebs cycle. Then I will explain how the production of ATP, NADP, and FADH.
Okay.
To the sequence.
Okay. I got this.
Copy it as it is.
Okay.
And after the class, try to
Done, sir.
Done.
Yes.
So in next class, we'll study from, we'll complete this chapter actually in next class. We'll start from the glycolysis. This part,
Okay.
right? So next class, I'll start from here. You have to remind me that I have to start from here, right?
Glycolysis process.
Right.
Okay.
Put the heading glycolysis. Then I'll tell you glycolysis process, then Krebs cycle, then electron transport chain, then embolic process, then again anaerobic respiration. And that's it. Next class, I'll finish this chapter, right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, next class. It would have been finished half of the chapter today if I might be well, right? So, but no way. Still, that will be better to finish this glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and this electron transport in one go. That will be more better, better one, right? So, see you in next class, Affaf, right?
Yeah.
And revise all those concepts which I have noted down today. It's very important. It's very important.
Okay.
They will build your concept, and I promise you, you'll never forget if you'll like build like this way, right? And go through with your textbook as well. Okay.
I am going to.
Ah, yeah, very good. You are a good girl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My mom has a hard time believing that.
Today, go and say your mom that my teacher believe on me that I am good girl.
She doesn't believe me. I told her many times that you're satisfied with me, but she's like, no.
It happens. Many of the my brother do not like they ask me that I don't know how you teach this child. You forget each and every work what I be assigned to you. So I don't think that you are an efficient person. I tell them that I am very efficient kind of a person. I take care of everyone. So I'm very honest to my job, but they don't believe in that. Right?
It's very hard to find teachers that are
Yeah.
honest with their job.
Yeah. so so so
But you
like your
are, honestly, because to be honest, all of my teachers, they have never answered my doubts. They would
okay.
mock me.
Yeah.
And you don't do that. I'm surprised.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, that is a crime. If any child says that ask any question, Afaf, just I'm sharing an incident. Uh, I have taught more than 2.5 lakh students
Wow.
offline. Offline.
Okay.
In Delhi, the classes basically I used to teach. You must have listened UPSC. Have you listened about Union
Yeah.
Public Service Commission? That is basically they make the top bureaucrat of the world. So I used to teach the before COVID. I used to teach the batch strength with the 1,900, and I learned gradually. I was a very bright child, and I was topper as well. So hardly somebody can like catch me, like somebody can stuck me anywhere. So never this came. This day never came. One day, one student asked me a question, and really I got stuck. And that was most of the students used to think that this is a very silly kind of a question, but I got stuck over there. I said to him, I'll come back tomorrow morning, I'll tell you. Right? You are not perfect, and nobody is perfect in this world. There may be the chances incidences that I may get stuck because I have not read each and everything. But as a teacher, my responsibility to go to my home, work on that, study harder, search the concept, and then deliver to the student. And there is nothing wrong to say I don't know to any student, to anyone, right? So if you don't know, say proudly I don't know, because you are not the god. We are
Yeah.
human being. And but as a teacher, if you say that I won't tell you, that is a crime. That is a crime.
Yeah.
In my, yeah, that's crime.
Actually, I was a straight A student as well. But
Okay.
when I got into older, like from grade 9 onwards,
Okay.
not grade 9, 7
Okay.
onwards, Oh,
Okay.
I would ask my teachers about doubts, and they would just mock me for not knowing it. They would say, "Oh, you're not attentive." And when I would tell my mom and my mom would talk to them, they would be like, "Oh, she's not attentive." So,
It's not like that.
yeah.
If and I love the student who have query. I get bored those who do not ask the question. And I really that become very monotonous. And I by heart I don't want to teach them who do not ask the question, like doubts. And there were many batches of the Middle East. The student they hardly used to utter the question, any word. And I keep on poking that. Did you got that concept? Do you like? Do you have any question every time? So if you do not have question, if you do not have any doubt, Affaf, if you remember this line, if you do not have any doubt, that's what I think. It means either you know each and everything, 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 everything in this world. And second thing, you know nothing in this world, nothing. So if a good student, like people like me, lies between these two, means they know something, they don't know something. So if you lie between these two, you must have a question. That should be logical, but you must have a question, right? To have a question, it means you have gone through with that topic, you have studied well, you have worked hard on that topic, right? So that's good. You ask me a question, I keep on energetic in this 1.5 hour class. But if that would not be, if question won't be over there, then I'll become bored and I'll just teach, just do my duty, right? It's good to ask question and keep it up. I appreciate that. And
Thank you.
you'll definitely come with a flying color. I am confident. Okay.
Okay.
So keep on asking question, keep on studying, right? Bye bye. See you next class.